You know, your home is in a constant battle, an unseen one happening right under your feet. Today, we're going to go underground right in Manassas, Virginia, to show you exactly what hidden forces might be attacking your own home. So, let me ask you something. What if your home's biggest enemy wasn't some huge storm you can see coming, or a fire, but the actual ground it's sitting on? I mean, think about that. For a lot of people, that's the scary reality. And that's the heart of this unseen battle we're diving into. All right, let's set the stage here. Basically, every single home out there is in this constant struggle with its environment. It's a quiet fight, yeah, but trust me, the stakes are super high. And to really see what this looks like, we're going to zoom in on one town, Manassas, Virginia. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a historic house in Old Town or a brand new place. Every single one of them is on the front lines of this fight with nature. And you know what? The story in Manassas is basically a perfect example of what so many of us are dealing with, even if we don't know it yet. Okay, so every story needs a villain, right? In our story, the bad guys aren't wearing capes. They're the environmental forces that are just hammering a home's plumbing. So let's meet our adversaries. First up, our number one enemy is the ground itself. Yeah, really. See, Manassas is built on this really clay-heavy soil. The best way to think about it is like a giant sponge right under your house. When it gets wet, it swells up. When it dries out, it shrinks. And all that moving back and forth, it puts this incredible crushing pressure on your pipes, day in and day out. All right, adversary number two, good old winter cold. And there's a specific number to watch out for, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's kind of the magic number. The moment the temperature drops below that, any water in exposed pipes starts to freeze. And here's the crazy part. When water turns to ice, it expands with so much force it can literally split a metal pipe right open. And our third and final bad guy, this one's a little sneakier. It wages a silent war from inside your pipes. The water there in Manassas comes through all this limestone bedrock, and on its way, it picks up a ton of minerals. Calcium, magnesium, you name it. This creates what we call hard water, and that leads to scale buildup. Honestly, it's just like cholesterol for your house's plumbing system. It slowly clogs everything up, especially your water heater, and just destroys its lifespan. So, you've got this three-way attack, right? The soil, the ice, the water. What happens next? Well, let's take a look at the damage report, the most common plumbing casualties you'll find. So here's what it looks like on the ground. That freezing winter, boom, burst pipes. That hard water we talked about, it can kill a water heater in just 8 to 12 years. And that shifty clay soil, it cracks open sewer lines, which is like rolling out the welcome mat for tree roots to get in and cause horrible backups. And if you're in an older home built before 1970, you've got corroding supply lines, which means low water pressure and that lovely discolored water. See? Every single problem traces right back to the environment. Okay, enough of the scary stuff. How do you actually fight back? When your house is basically under siege, you need a defender who knows what they're doing. So let's crack open the expert's playbook. The very first play in the book, it's all about speed. When a pipe bursts, that clock starts ticking fast. A real pro should be there in 60 minutes or less. And that 1 hour, man, that's the difference between a small puddle you wipe up and a catastrophic flood inside your house. Next up, a good pro has a system. It's a clear 3-step process, no guessing games. Step 1, they figure out the actual root of the problem and give you a flat rate price up front, no surprise bills later. Step 2, they do the repair with good quality parts. And step 3, and this is important, they test everything to make sure it works, and then they clean up after themselves. See, it's not just a quick patch-up job, it's a real professional solution from start to finish. And here's a part of the playbook a lot of people just don't think about. Real expertise isn't just about turning a wrench. It's about knowing all the local rules, like the Virginia Uniform Statewide Building Code, and taking care of the permits from Prince William County. That's how you know the job isn't just done. It's done right, it's legal, and it's up to code. So here's the main takeaway. What we're learning from Manassas really applies no matter where you live. And once you understand this battle, you're in a much better position to pick the right person to defend your home. So let's talk about what that looks like. I mean, look at this comparison. It really couldn't be more clear. On one side, you have a licensed professional. They've got insurance, they follow the building codes, they warranty their work. On the other side, you have the unlicensed fix. They can't get the right permits, their shoddy work might fail an inspection, and get this, it could even void your homeowner's insurance claim. And of course, there's no guarantee on their work. You might think you're saving a few bucks, but the risk is it's not worth it. So, what can you do? Here's your checklist. Think of it as your defensive strategy. Before you hire anyone, you need to ask these questions. 1. Do you offer flat rate pricing? 2. Are you licensed and insured? 3. Do you provide a written warranty on both parts and labor? 4. What's your process for diagnosis and repair? And maybe the most important one, do you really get the specific local challenges we have right here? So we've walked through the whole story in Manassas, right? We've seen the clay soil, the freeze-thaw cycles, the hard water. But all of this just leads to one final big question that you have to ask yourself. What unseen forces are at work under your home right now?